Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Saturday morning. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I have a word for you. Tap in. Happy Saturday, guys. Have a download I want to share with you guys. Chosen ones, empaths, HSPs, highly sensitive people. If you have not healed, if you have not placed yourself in an intentional or unintentional healing season. I say unintentional because sometimes, God will snatch the rug, right? He'll snatch the rug when he's really trying to assist and help us. And it feels like heartbreak. It feels like wrath. It feels like, but in reality, he's snatching the rug because it's going to be the only way he can really get you to enter a certain season. Now, this can be a season of healing from childhood trauma. This can be a season of healing from heartbreak, let it be divorce or something like that. But a healing season, because many chosen people, again, have experienced immense levels of trauma throughout their lives. Chosen people carry a light that attracts good and bad, good and evil, both. However, when you start to evolve, and many chosen people are currently here in this season, you attract so much great people. But the point is, we have the ability to attract both. But sadly, at lower frequencies, you are going to attract warlocks, narcissists, demonic spirits, etc. Chosen ones, you carry a light that you can't see on yourself. We can't see it on ourselves many a times. Now, I believe that's a great way for God to keep us humble, if you will. Don't mistake confidence with cocky. Only insecure people will mistake confidence with cocky. But it's God's way of keeping us humble. Why do you think when we walk and enter in rooms, the room shifts? It's like everything comes to a halt. No matter who's in that room, they know when you enter the room. Now, we ain't that cute. So it has nothing to do with our looks, if you will. Because there are tons of handsome, tons of beautiful people in the world. But it's something about your spirit when you enter a room. Why do you think people always want to be around you? People feel safe around you. They feel that quote unquote healing energy. You feel like home. Why do you think you can be in an environment and there's a whole witch there, right? And I mean, no one else in the room feels it. I mean, because she's all made up or whatever the case may be. But you know that her spirit's not right. And you may be the only one in the room that knows that. Why is that witch just staring at you? And here you are just trying to eat your food. And someone just staring at you. And the minute you look up, you know it's a witch. Everyone else is just, you know it. That happened to me one time, 2 times. I'm having a flashback. I was in a restaurant. And when I walked in, instantly, she and I caught eyes. And I instantly felt her spirit. And I'm sure she felt mine. And as I sat down with some friends, she's looking at me. So I looked her dead in her eyes. And I stared in her eyes. Now I'm rebuking her, right? Not out loud, but I'm rebuking her, right? I'm dismantling her energy. And we're locked eyes. She assumed that I would turn my head. So you got to know the power you carry. But now we're having this stare down. I mean, it's, nobody even knows what's going on, but, she and I know what's going on. And I'm staring at her. I'm not even blinking. Then automatically she downs her head. I say that to say you got to know that we carry a certain energy and people picks up on that. Good or bad, they pick up on that. They know you're a child of God. There have always been narcissists, users, manipulators, demons, warlocks, witches, but we're in a season where they have been amplified. For one, the enemy knows his time is up. This is also a season where God is truly dealing with the narcissist, and it's going to take a chosen one to bring them down. Now, as a chosen one, we ourselves don't physically bring the narcissist down. It's because they have finally afflicted a chosen one. See, they can afflict anybody else. They can play with anybody else, but not a chosen one, not a child of God, especially those who are in alignment to get certain things done here on the earth. So because God is dismantling all of this evil, then he doesn't sin, but he allows them to come into a chosen one, knowing he's sitting back in a cut just watching, right? He's sitting back in the cut. He heard the first conversation. He heard the love bombing. He heard the lie. He's sitting back in the cut watching, knowing once they afflict you, it's a done deal. So he allows it to happen because now they're in territories. Chartered territory. Is that the word, chartered territory? They're in chartered territories. Why do you think in this season you've encountered a lot of counterfeits, a lot of more than ever, counterfeits, narcissists, witches, and warlocks, but it doesn't last long. Unless if you're being disobedient and making your head hard, then it's lasting long. And if it's lasting long, you are getting dragged to filth by the narcissist, the warlock, etc. But you will encounter, many of you guys will encounter that you're meeting narcissists and witches and warlocks or demonic spirits or whatever. You're meeting them more frequently, but you're dismissing them. They're dropping like flies. This is spiritual warfare. So you wonder, why was narcissists, think about it. Why all of their lives, or for many, many years, they were narcissists and they get around and they're hurting all these people and it's like nothing happens to them. Like, and you try to figure out, like, I don't understand. Like, it just wasn't the season for it. The shift is here. This shift is about good versus evil. In general. I mean, some people feel it's a shift about this, that, and the third, but ultimately, I'm sure there can be many shifts, but ultimately, it's good versus evil. So if you're evil, you can get it. So because many of the chosen ones, not all, because remember, we all are in different seasons. Everybody answered the call at different times. But because the chosen ones, many chosen ones are in a season where if you've put that work in and you've been aligned, your frequency, not speaking anything new age, your spirit is vibing very, very high. You're really, really tapped in right now. You carry that fire, seriously. And it's because you had your head down doing your work, obedience over emotions. You've been through some storms. You've been through some attacks. So God have really developed you. And in this season, this is why nothing can touch you. Only if you are out of alignment, then absolutely. And be very careful because they can take your mind. A narcissist can take your mind if you're not careful. So you meet them, witch, warlock, scammer, manipulator, this is that and the third. You meet them, and typically you would maybe have people around you for some years or whatever, but within the first week, first month, couple of months, boom, God exposes them in whatever way. See, you always knew. If you're honest, you knew from the very first conversation. You knew from the very first eye contact. But you don't have a spiritual release to call them out yet. You don't have a spiritual release to leave them yet. God needed the offense to happen first. So they didn't defend, they were plotting on you, but they didn't offend you in the first day. They didn't offend you on the first week. They were too busy love bombing you. But God was waiting for the offense to happen. Like, I'm waiting on you. Touch him. Just touch him. I'm in this cut. Touch my chosen one. I'm waiting on you. And then boom, the offense happened. So now God finally exposed them to you. He showed you exactly who they were, right? None of your wise, you walked away. And God is currently dealing with him in his own way. But you're not harmed. Where prior to healing, you would need a 2-year, 3-year healing season because you were in the sunken place from dealing with this dark energy. But now you meet them, you drop them like flies, you keep it moving. You meet another one, drop them like flies, keep it moving. God is dismantling this demonic spirit that has been around for a long time. And he's doing it through the chosen ones. So you see, we're not doing anything. Like it's not even set up in us like that to go to war with you. I mean, we can, right? We can. Now, if we get up in our flesh, we still going to dismantle you, but we don't have that protection like that. So we're wise enough now to know, fall back, let God fight this battle, because when God fights it, he's going to deal with them accordingly. But you're covered. Keep your hands clean, because if you get your hands dirty, how's God going to use you in purpose and calling? So he's requiring you, as much as you want to get your hands up in it, he's convicting you. Leave it alone. I'm dealing with this. Leave it alone. This is my leave it alone. And then over time, through conviction and obedience, it leaves your spirit. You don't want to like get back. You don't want to like So this is only happening because you're healed. But now to our good brothers and sisters who have not went through a healing process and you're still dealing with trauma wounds from childhood, rejection, abandonment, abuse, et cetera, or heartbreak, right? Just trauma in general. Or maybe it wasn't just solely childhood, but maybe it was a bad marriage and the person was a narcissist and they truly just rearrange your whole life, right? It is extremely important for everybody to be sure that the people that we're dating or married to are God ordained people, other chosen ones. But I'm speaking specifically to the ones who are still wounded. And let's be honest, you may have great reasons to still be wounded. If you're wounded, if you're still moving from a place of lack, a place of abandonment and rejection seeds, etc., you are putting out an aura of desperation. You are putting out an aura of trauma. So as much as people can see that light in you that you can't see for yourself, being a chosen one, they also see that trauma. They see that hurt. They see that pain. And so they see you as a target. This is a person who's hurt, wounded, so I can use them. I can abuse them. I can suck them in. I can. As a chosen one, you literally attract narcissists. You attract demonic spirits. You attract witches and warlocks. It comes with the territory. You attract it. They want to siphon your energy. They see that light. They're full of dark, right? They're full of darkness, their mindset, their character, they're just whatever. They're just a whole mess. So they see the opposite in you. So even though they smell the desperation, they also see that light in you. They see the favor. You can't see it, but they see it. And so they want that. So now they attach themselves to you with every wrong intention, every wrong motive. And because you're wounded, you're unhealed, and you just want to be accepted. You just want to be loved. You want to be understood. You want to feel like somebody really, truly, genuinely care about you, because maybe your parents, maybe you were raised in foster care. No one ever, like, you just, that's what you want, right? And that's what you deserve. And God has that for you. But if you're unhealed, you're not going to attract who God has for you. Because in order to attract God ordained blessings and people, our energy, our spirit have to already be at a certain level. We attract at the level we're on. So if you're still dealing with trauma, respectfully, you're going to attract other people who are full of trauma, and you can't even see it because you guys are equal. Why do you think people who really put the work in, right? Doesn't mean they're perfect, but they've really put some work in. Why do you think they have a hard time being around people who are still full of trauma and moving a certain kind of way, character flaws, survivor mode, all that? Because the person is now disturbing their peace. So they can't have a person around them that they don't trust, a person who maybe have cheated, and the person's like, well, I mean, nobody's perfect. That's true. That's true. That's true. But I got to release you because I can't tolerate that kind of energy. That disturbs your spirit. When you reach a certain kind of level, peace is the priority. So if you disturb that peace by your lack of character, then it's true. We are the human. We all make mistakes, but you got to go and stay at that level that you're on until you put your own work in. And then when you rise up, then you will start attracting a certain kind of person. And then you will realize why the person released you and they couldn't keep you around them. So it's not about, we all are imperfect. We all make mistakes, but there's consequences to our actions. So that doesn't mean the person have to keep you around. They forgive you, but they release you. They release you back to wherever you came from. Just wishing, hoping, and praying, I guess, that God continues to work on you if you submit to the process. If you are still tolerating with disrespect, tolerating cheating, people literally, they're not even hiding it, playing in your face, right? Manipulating you, using you, if you're dealing with that, now again, right? It's true that we can attract that, and you may not see it right off because, again, for different reasons. You might be in a low season yourself. You could be going through a grief season or something like that. So your spirit is not really accelerated during that season or at that time. So yes, you can attract it because that's still trauma, right? It's still trauma. You're healed, but then you experience something on a certain season. So you're not really seeing or feeling from a high vibrational spiritual point because your spirit is all hurt and wounded. So yeah, okay, you attract them. But God won't let you stay there long. Because over time, as you continue to heal from that trauma, whatever the trauma is within that season, right, your spiritual tank gets back filled, and then the Holy Spirit starts convicting you. Like, do you not see this? Okay, let me allow them to do something so I can, right? Because I know you've been slipping. When they snuck in, you were slipping, right? You was going through something. So let me reveal to you, let me allow them to offend you so you can get back on point. When you're walking around and saying things like I see women say it all the time, it can be like on social media, and they'll say things like, well, I'm just so depressed because I'm 30 and I'm still not married. Do you know how many demons first of all, you're saying that on social media, right? Right? Do you know how many demons that you're going to attract with that mindset? Because again, you're speaking and you're feeling and you're vibing from a place of low frequency, of desperation. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a desire for it, but that's different. But the mindset should be, I'm already healed, I'm already whole, I'm already fulfilled. But yes, I desire a partner. Yes, I desire. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I only want what God has for me. That's a complete difference. I'm just if you still feel, man or woman, if you still feel like you're empty and you're not fulfilled because you don't have a partner or a spouse, there's something missing. And what's missing is that relationship with God. What's missing is your vision, what's missing is your purpose and your calling. So you got to change that perspective, because once you tap into that, then God will send you what you need to accommodate you, meaning a person, to accommodate you at the level of what you attract. So when I hear some women say things like, "There's no men out here," like I'm sitting here like I have to beat men off of me, not literally, but I have to beat men off of me, all ages, all races, all frequencies. I'm just getting where you fit in, right? It's because not perfect, still have a long way to go, but put enough work in to know that there's a certain kind of person that God has specifically ordained for the chosen ones. Now we have free will, so we can take the first proposal. You can propose to the first chick just because she's thick. She's just a thick witch. But if you're moving from a place of lack or desperation because you haven't went through a healing season yet, you are going to attract and marry and partner with the wrong person. It's not going to last. It's just not going to last. So if you are still dealing from a place of trauma, again, we all have trauma. All of us have trauma. But if you're extremely wounded and God has been pressing on you that he wants you to, I don't know, go to therapy, start journaling, sit in a single season, sit in a healing season, sit in an isolation season, I want you to start doing this. Whatever instructions that he's giving you, right? He's aligning you, and he's not convicting. Think about it. You're in some seasons where God won't even allow you to meet anybody. Like you want to meet the person and you can't even, nothing sticks. You're not attracted to anybody. They're not attracted to you. You meet somebody 2 days later, it falls apart. Right. So and then there are seasons where all you do is attract people. You got so much choices. So that just goes to show that in certain seasons, everything is not for every season. We got to know that. We got to know when we're in a season of healing because God is preparing us. But with chosen people, which one of my good brothers always say in the comment section, chosen people should be with chosen people. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. But it also needs to be chosen people who put that work in, because you can meet a chosen person who's not put the work in, because everybody's running around here saying they're chosen. Everybody's not chosen. Well, I'll say everybody didn't. Let me rephrase that. Everybody didn't answer their call, and everybody's not in alignment for their call. If you are still wounded from grief, from heartbreak, from trauma, from childhood wounds, from mother wounds, from father wounds. I saw someone say I forgot where it was. I think it might have been TikTok. That mother wounds are real, right? This for men or women. Typically you hear a lot about father wounds, but mother wounds are real. Do you know every man, I was going to speak to about my brothers really quickly. Every man did not experience, or every person, but every man did not experience a nurturing mother. Do you know you have mothers out here who never wanted to be a mother, and they really dislike and hate their kids? They beat the kids. I'm talking about senseless because they never wanted kids. That you look like your daddy. I don't even like your dad. Don't even like the kids. You're worthless. You will never be nothing. You look like your daddy. Your daddy trifling. You're going to be trifling. If that has been pounded in to a man's head, again, it can be men or women, but right now I'm speaking about what was on TikTok, that the conversation on TikTok was. If that was pounded into a man's head all of his life, and this is not true for every man, how do you expect him to like women? And again, this is not true for all men. But if this man has grew up hating his mom because his mom have tortured him, and at this point, he has every right to dislike her. I think it's important to heal from that, but he has every right to dislike her. That's the first woman he ever seen. That's the first woman who was supposed to love him. So now he grows up, and because everybody says everybody should be married by 25. Now he goes and follow what society says. It looks better on paper. Never healed from that. Full of trauma. And you want him to like you? And then people are so clueless. They're, well, you don't like black women. You don't like your mama. Well, I mean, don't worry about who likes who. Worry about aligning yourself with what was meant for you. Because that's another... I get so annoyed. For me, it's almost embarrassing. You see it so much and so frequently. Oh, well, such and such, they only like this kind of woman, and they don't like black women, and this person only have a certain type. Who cares? Most people do have a type. And it's funny that the people who have a type will have an issue with the person who's having a type. Now, there's one thing from having a type, and then there's one thing from belittling, et cetera, et cetera. I do understand that point too. But you see a lot of people, they're responding more that certain people have a certain type, or a certain woman may have a certain look, this, that, and third. And truth of the matter is, it's not true. And even if it is for the small selective of people that you're seeing on social media, even if that's true, how is that affecting you? That tells you you're still moving from a wounded place. Because the last thing I'm worried about is if one of my brothers want to date a certain race or date a certain... How does that affect me? That doesn't make me feel less than. That tells me that he himself may have his own trauma, potentially, right? Or that's just not his type. That's okay. We all like a certain thing. There are certain things I won't get into it, but there are certain things I don't like or really care for, if you will. That's a major turnoff for me. It won't be anything physical, not for me, but but you see it all the time on social media. They don't like black women. And to me, it annoys me because it's almost like you're trying to speak for every woman. Every woman don't feel that way. You feel that way. So stop saying, oh, well, they don't like black women. Who cares? Who cares? Align yourself, get your game up so you can attract whatever you want to attract. And you're going to attract truly all races once you level up. Because that's not true. That's the mindset. That's the trauma. That's the lack that's speaking. It's that wound of rejection that's speaking. The chosen ones don't chase. We attract. But again, we must put the work in. We must put the work in. People are attracted to your aura, to your energy. I think people place too much emphasis on their looks, if you will. I guess it's important to keep yourself up, but people are more attracted to your aura and your energy. It's not about trying to compare yourself to the next chick. It's about your aura. People, I went somewhere 2 weeks ago. I didn't even listen. Every time I tried to order something, it was already paid for. Different people coming from different areas. conversation is, there is something about you. You are very, very interesting. Another person, you're very intriguing. I just can't put my hands on it, but it's something about your auras, your confidence. Like when you walk in here, you're by yourself, your head up, and just, you're very confident, you're very assured of yourself. Like I'm very intrigued. I love your energy. Over and over and over again. People are in tune with our energy, with our confidence. But you can't move from a place of confidence until you put that work in. See, many chosen people, again, have been broken down so bad through narcissists, things like that, that you still struggle from, not all, of course, but you still struggle with the labels that the narcissist placed on you. Because narcissists, they screw with your mind so bad that you could have been a confident person. Now your confidence is to the floor. They manipulate you so bad you really think you're crazy and you really think there's something wrong with you, right? But if you're still believing the lies and you're still believing that you're not enough, because narc abuse will make you feel like you're not enough, right? If you really still believe that, how can you attract that? Because when you go into places and you meet people, people feel through your energy. I've been around people, mostly women, if I'm honest, and is like a dark cloud. Now, granted, they could have a lot of trauma. It could be heartbreak. It could be anger. It could be resentment. But I could feel it. And I'm a very naturally bubbly person, right? I'm a very friendly person to everybody. Seriously, everybody. Sometimes I get myself in trouble because I'm too friendly. But like here you are with this bubbly personality. And you're like, hey, girl, yeah, you can come sit here. Nobody's sitting here. Come sit right here. Oh, thank you. And you're trying to have a conversation like, no. I mean, if I'm a woman and I can't even get to you, I mean, I'm sure not trying to holler. That ain't happening, right? Quick insert. But if I'm a woman and if I can't even get through your energy, how is a man, if a man is trying to have a conversation with you, you're blocked. And that can be the very man but you're blocked. So a healing season is so important. It's so unfair that the chosen ones who have hearts of gold, and are such beautiful spirits, again, we're not perfect, right? We ain't that cute, boo. But I mean, it's almost unfair that many of our blessings are blocked based on the trauma and the hurt and the betrayal of other people. So if you really want to retaliate, if you really want to get people back, enter a healing season. Don't run from it because it may take a while. Don't run from it. Just sit in it and let God do what he needs to do. When he sends you people to learn from, to glean from, don't fight against it because it will feel like they're judging you, right? But it's really iron sharpening iron. It's going to have to take intentionality, because when God starts bringing people to help you and assist you, first of all, God is very fair. So he knows, because you didn't experience that maybe in childhood, maybe you didn't have a father or a mother, this is that and third. He's going to bring some kind of mentor. Could be intentional or just not. A person you encounter, and that person is going to try to help you, but you're going to try to fight the person because you feel like the person is judging you. And the person is they're loving on you and loving on you and loving on you. But then they bring something to your attention and boom, you self-sabotage because you feel like they're judging you. And so God is fair, right? You self-sabotage because it is what it is. Now he will put you in a season where now the Holy Spirit can train you. But you got to submit to that. It's obedience over emotions. Healing hurts. Why do you think most people don't heal? Why do you think most people rather mask their pain through addictions, let it be sex, porn, alcohol, drugs, weed, that, food? Why do you think most people rather mask their pain? Because healing hurts. So most people, they stay recycling that same level of trauma, hurt, and pain because nobody wants to place themselves in an intentional healing season. Or if God snatches the rug and throw our behind up in the season, we fight against it. We got free will, so he's not going to make us stay. I mean, sometimes he'll burn all the bridges where you can't go back because he's really trying to help you. But he still, ultimately, he can't make us sit in these seasons to heal. But if you're currently, chosen ones, if you're currently unhealed, if you're currently still dealing with trauma, and you know, truth of the matter is sometimes people can be dealing with trauma or stuck in survival mode, and then you don't really know that you are. Truly, it's just ignorance. Ignorance just means not knowing. Truly, you just don't know it. Because if you've been living a certain way all your life, how do you know that it's not the right way? It's all you've known. So what happened is God will start to put examples in front of your face. So then you be like, oh my goodness. So there are some healthy, happy marriages. There are people who are really happily married. Oh my goodness. So there are people who, you know, took a step out on faith and they now have this thriving business or this thriving ministry. Or there are people that I can just sit and vibe with, and the conversation is not all toxic. We're just talking about elevating, is it? Right. He'll place examples in front of you. And then you have this aha moment like, oh my goodness, I want that. I want more. Ding, 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 ding. More. So more comes with more work, more iron sharpening iron, more teaching, more being teachable, more teachability, more teachability. And then it's like, I want that. And God is like, oh, really? Now you're ready. Okay. Boom. Let me throw you up in this. Let me throw you up in this wilderness right quick. Let me throw you up in this healing season right quick. Let me go ahead and, okay, you want it, right? You say you want it. So we be asking God for things, thinking because we ask for it, he's just going to just give it to us. No, child. Sometimes when we ask God for things, our entire life gets turned upside down. Truly. Our entire life gets turned upside down. But it's so much better on the other side that you will do it 30 times again. You guys have a great weekend. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.